Their live market session. I'm going to try not to shake my screen too much. I've got my laptop propped up. I usually use my Mac desktop. I don't know why I've been using the laptop lately, but happy Tuesday, guys. Super great to be back here. For those who were on the calls last week, welcome back. For those who are brand new, nice to meet everybody. I'm Lex. My nickname is Flex. So if you hear people say Flex, that's me as well. But so, I'm in here. I'm going to go through the news with you guys. I'm going to go through the charts. I know it's only Tuesday, guys. If you've already been on a couple of these calls, you already know how I get down. I don't trade a lot in the beginning of the week. A lot of my trades start to come in like Tuesday evening into Friday. And I'm a New York session trader, so obviously I'd wait till Wednesday in the New York session. But yeah, so super excited. Last week, our odds Swiss franc went for like 53 pips. At that point, you should have already been moved break even. So played out beautifully. I actually called that to my private platform as well. It wasn't 100 pips. We're used to catching over 100 pips a week, but you got to take what you can get from the market. It was about 50 pips, so I'll take 50 pips. So our analysis last week did hit the short-term TP that we were looking for. So super stoked there, guys. Going into this week, as a reminder, it is NFP. I don't know if it's FOMC. I can't remember. I thought it may be. I'll double check for you guys, but I do know it's NFP. And for those who don't know what NFP is, it is non-farm payroll, basically releasing the unemployment statistics. But it's important for you to know just because news can impact the pair you're trading. So sometimes it can have high impact, sometimes it has no impact, but it's just good to know. So I do know NFP is this Friday, so I probably won't trade Friday, or if I do trade, it's either before NFP or after NFP. I'm never entering trades right on the news. I know I've had a couple of questions in my DMs where people have been like, hey Lex, like how do you utilize news like in your trading? And I just simply tell them, well, I don't necessarily. I don't care about what's in the folder. Number one. Number two, structure is everything. Like whatever that price action tells me on the screen, as in regards to structure, is what I'm gonna follow. Like if I'm getting too much noise over here and it's not aligning with my structure, then I'm not gonna listen to the fundamentals. I'm always gonna go with price action, guys. It's the most important to me, but sometimes it is important to see what's in the news folders because hey, it might help you build an edge. Like there's some times where I just have a natural I guess curiosity about the economy and the decisions we make and so forth. So I already kind of have an edge built into my trading just because I'm educated on the economy. And guys, I know it doesn't seem fun and it's not like the funnest stuff to learn, but when you position yourself to acquire knowledge that's not just out there for you to grab left, over your left shoulder, over your right shoulder, it's important for you to be informed. And that's what happens a lot of the times to people is they get blindsided by decisions, the government makes or policies being implemented. And it's because they're just not informed with what's going on in the economy. So I do love to just stay informed, super knowledgeable. Got some long-term investments that I've been sitting on for like 4 years with my students that I've put them onto. So I'll continue to do that here as well, whatever knowledge I have. But for right now, I'm not going to say disregard what's in the folders, but just like have some kind of understanding of, is there inflation? Yes, there is. Are we going to hike interest rates to curb inflation? We might. Those kind of things all need to be just known, right? Especially if you're over, I would say over 26, you should know these things. I'm almost 30 years old. I'm 29. I got to know these things, right? I pay my own bills. I am fully independent. I don't have anybody to lean on to pay any of my bills. So I need to know what decisions are being made economically and where can I position myself to potentially capitalize and profit off of certain policies going into place. So that's how I kind of like to use the news, but for trading I like to stick to simple structure and just see if I got a news release. That's simply it. So let's go. Let's dive in, guys. We're gonna start Forex Factory. It's always what I like to get going with. All right, time is 9:05, guys. This call is not going to be super long. It is Tuesday. It's kind of my shorter call. Wednesday is when I'm like, all right, we're getting into the sweet spot. All right, so 8:30, we got CAD. This already passed. Let me refresh. All right, so 10 a.m., we got some red folder USD news. And then at 5:45 p.m., we have NZD. So if anybody trades any USD pairs or they're looking at any USD pairs or NZD pairs, this could be a potentially great news release coming your way. So something to keep in mind. What's USD? 10 a.m. So I do have some USD pairs I think I'm looking at. So I'm going to stop sharing the news. We're going to go ahead and back to screen share and we'll start. Cool. So guys, DXY, always got to start here. All right, so at this point in time, guys, we can see that we are kind of stuck in this weird range in the dollar index. And some of you guys might be asking, well, like, what's the dollar index have to do with anything? Well, in my opinion, it has to do with everything, just because it is our world reserve currency. So if you don't know what that means, it just simply means that a lot of other countries on a global and on an international affairs level depend on the dollar, on the currency, if their currency goes bad. So let's say I'm gonna try and pick a country that's not pulled out of the one. Let's just say Australia is still depending on the world reserve currency. Let's say the Aussie goes under for whatever reason. Well, now they'll look over to the dollar reserve and utilize the dollar currency to kind of build back strength. But you're seeing countries pull out of their world reserve currency, and this is why you should know these things, guys. You should know what's going on. I challenge you guys, not to get into the charts after this, but to go see why countries are pulling out of the world reserve currency and see how that could come into your trading. But as for the dollar index, I don't want to digress. If the dollar index is positive, meaning going up, bullish, you're going to have your USD CAD go up, you're going to have your USD Swiss franc go up, you're going to have your USD JPY sometimes follow as well. Pairs that move inversely to the dollar index are GBP USD, Euro USD, AUD USD, all those pairs, right? So I just like to know where I'm at. Right now, I'm just in between on the DXY, which I don't love, right? So I created this new high, beautiful. And we are very bullish right now. Created this new high, bounced off this level, didn't create a new high, didn't even go touch the new high, came back to this level, failed to create another new high, or even equal to this high. And now you can see we're just kind of spilling. And now I'm in between. I'm not at a resistance level and I'm not at a support level. So really I'm at a level where I do nothing. But let's drop down. So as you can see, guys, I got this red line on, basically telling me if the dollar is really going to turn around and head bullish, right, based on the structure, I got to break above this level. But if I don't break above this level, then we're going to see price drop down into here. So two things can happen here, and I want you to pay attention. I can either drop into here. Whoa, not that. I don't know what that is. Let me pick a trend line. I could either reject here, guys, and tap into this low here, or I break this level, guys, come back here, and now I'm off to the races. So right now I'm kind of in this in-between waiting game. Right now I either need to wait for price to break above, or I need to wait for price to show me rejection candle, rejection candle, rejection candle, and I can get down into these lows. So that's where I'm at currently with the DXY, but I'm not looking to trade the DXY, not in the middle. If I'm trading the DXY, which I do trade the DXY, I'm either taking buys off support or sells off resistance. This is in between, and this isn't telling me what's going on. All right. So for some reason, my laptop charger is not working, guys. So I got about 10% here, so I might have to fly through these. My apologies. I don't know what's going on. So let's talk about this 4 hour really quickly on GU. And this is a pair that I'm looking at very loosely. You can see that we had this low, and then we created this new high on GU, right? So automatically, like, how do I validate that this is going to maintain the structure? Well, guys, in order to validate that we don't want to see this structure change, meaning we want to see bullish structure maintained, we do not want to see price trade below this level, guys. And this is so important. All right, so this now truly becomes my last line of defense, right? It's that last level that could hold structure before it breaks, right? So there's my new high, and you can see we're just pulling back. We bounced off this level, and then we pulled back some more and bounced off this level, and we're not really doing anything here. So what I do want to just potentially keep an eye out for, and this isn't set in stone, right? Nothing in the market is set in stone, but I do see some structure here that kind of has my attention that I just want to see how it plays out, right? So at this point in time, on the 4 hour on GU, it's looking like it's trying to turn bullish, right? Like it's really trying to gain some bullish momentum. But right now on GU, I can see that I have on this 30-minute, because guys, remember, I go down from 4 hour to 1 hour to 30-minute and so forth. Right now, there was nothing in here for me to trade. And then I started to pull back, and I had this low, lower high, low, lower high, low. And then I had this new high, higher low. Price never traded back beneath here. New high, never traded back beneath this. Higher low. So now, guys, I'm back in the same predicament. So at this point in time, I have a new high on GU. And guys, so simple. Keep this so simple. I got a new high on GU. I can either break this last line of defense right here and invalidate the 30-minute structure, meaning I'm not bullish, right? Or I can maintain this red horizontal line is my 30-minute, Because remember, guys, whatever time frame you mark your zones on are the zones you want to see respected on that time frame as well. So if I'm marking a 30-minute zone, I don't want to see price break beneath my 30-minute last line of defense. If it does, it's probably going to go tap into this 4-hour last line of defense. But for right now, I'm focused on 30-minute because ideally I would love to see price trade all the way back to this high. But I gotta be mindful. Where am I at right now? And currently, guys, I am looking like I'm losing a little bit of momentum in these candlesticks, which I like to see. Nonetheless, I still don't have an entry, right? I have a new high. I have a pullback. We pull back 50%. Simple break and retouch. Resistance has turned to support. Flip zone, break and retouch. All those are the same thing. Now I'm looking for an established support. So let me walk you through what that looks like. And this is the only pair I'm going to focus on for today, for Tuesday's analysis. So I just gave you guys structure confirmations. New high check, pullback check, 50% check, break and retouch, new high above the EMA. That's all structural confirmation. That's not price action. All right, price action is what gets me in the trade. Structure is what sets me up. So here it is. I have my bearish candlesticks, right? Now I'm waiting for some bullish candlesticks. So literally all I want to see is bearish and then a bullish close. That's not enough for me to just enter yet, guys. But I will say, if you do, you'll have a really tight stop loss. Who cares? If I lose $100, like, I've been trading for 5 years, $1,500 loss doesn't hurt me anymore, right? So $100 shouldn't hurt you guys. You got to get used to some drawdown and fluctuation. Like, I have moments where I have 30 pip stop losses, and then I have moments where I have 8 pip stop losses. I don't ever just always have 8 pip, 8 pip, 8 pip. Sometimes I got to tailor my lot based on my lot size. So for me, let's say I'm okay with losing $1,500, then I'm going to put a lot size on there that risks $1,500. You got to be okay with seeing $400 in drawdown to make $2,000, right? You got to be able to see $30 in drawdown to make 120, right? So just try to reframe your relationship to drawback, right? Because I could be in a trade right now, and let's say I entered here prematurely, and I'm just in fluctuation. It's not a loss till I close it, right? And let's say price was just fluctuating and I'm in here. As long as price doesn't trade back beneath this low, technically, even though my entry might have been early, at least my directional bias is right, and at some point this will come turn around as long as we don't break beneath here. But if you entered early and then we broke beneath here, you got some other problems. But guys, I like to keep my stop losses tight. So I always, every time I enter, stick it right beneath that low or that high. And it's probably like 11 pips each time. Very rarely am I up in the 40, 50 pip stop loss. I hardly ever see that. It's always 30 down to like 5 pips sometimes. Like, what was it, last week? Or the week before that on August Frank, I had a 12 pip stop loss and a 133 pip reward, and it played out beautifully. So with that being said, guys, you need to see a bearish, bullish pattern so they can start to see established support, right? And then you want to see a broken level of resistance, right? So if I'm trending down like this is my last level of resistance. I want to see resistance break, get an entry here, and then we'll take it higher. But for right now, we don't have that. So right now, we're really just in the early phases of one question: do we hold this level? The only way I can start to entertain holding that level is if I see bullish candlesticks come into play. But if bullish candlesticks do not come into play, then I can promise you there's nothing here. But just keep your eye out here. Just, something worth looking at. Doesn't mean it's going to hold, right? It does not mean that. It doesn't have to, but it's just something that caught my eye. This was a trade I took yesterday. Got some pips. And that's early in the week for me to trade. And I don't usually like that, but it does look like on USD CAD we're starting to get a break above this high here. So keep in mind, guys, if this goes higher, DXY breaks above here, we're gonna see a bullish dollar, and these pairs are headed down. Like, this kind of looks, what is this, AUD USD? Yeah, so I'll go ahead and I'll put something here. If we create another low, guys, we're gonna look to sell this into the week. But if we don't, remember, it's early in the week, so these aren't always the true moves, so be mindful. But if this doesn't hold, there's no trade. Simple. You're not wrong, there's just no trade. You got to kind of learn how to wither out those self-debilitating thoughts like you don't know what you're doing. No, it just wasn't ready. Didn't hold, didn't give you price, right? You have a couple of things in control here. You have entry, exit, and risk management that you have control of. So the fact that, I could look at this trade setup, but if it never gives me some support here, another bullish candle, then I can't entertain it. And right now, it just looks like we're spilling, so we might just break this low and go in. But right now, it's still so early in these markets. Like, look at this. It's just not the prettiest conditions. to try to predict. Like I'm not in the business of predicting. I believe that I can get the job done with just waiting. Like even GBP CAD, I don't think this is done yet. I think right now this is the overall TP that I had. I already took my profits on this. It wasn't anything crazy. It's like a couple $100. Early in the week, and I'm mindful of that. So right now on GBP CAD, we have that new high price pullback, and then we had all of our internal structure breaks. So I'm gonna go back to 30-minute. We had this new high price pullback, could have traded beneath here, beautiful entry, created this new high, now we're pulling back. I don't want to see price trade beneath here. And the price has already been, so this was a 42 pip move, not bad. A couple $100. So I'm looking for prices coming in here as well, right? We broke this previous high. Now if I can stay above this high right in here, guys, meaning same concept applies. Support needs to be established, so I need to see bearish bullish variations. As soon as I see that on GBP CAD, I think we could potentially see a scale in to take this back to this high. So if it doesn't start to round out, guys, and start to provide me momentum back in my direction, there's no trade. It just make it so simple. You know, don't overcomplicate this. But back to that high, 67 pips. So this is actually a trade I'm going to be looking to take. So GBP CAD is probably my highest on my list, and then GBP USD. But it's not looking like my favorite right now. But I do like what I see here. So let's see what happens on GBP CAD. Let's see if we can kind of like curl and round this thing and get back up to these highs. But that's really all I have for you guys. I have GBP USD and I have GBP CAD. So we're back on tomorrow at 9 a.m. It's 9:17. These calls don't last super long. You know, just great knowledge, great nuggets. I don't like to come in here and overwhelm you guys. I'm not going to come in here and analyze every single pair, because what's the point of taking my attention away from a high probability potential setup to something lower just because I'm trying to analyze like a range or consolidation? Not worth it. I have my two, GBP CAD and GBP USD. And so like, how do I maneuver and like go about my day now that I have that on my list? Well, simple. If I get my price action confirmations and I get in the market, if I don't get them, I just don't get in the market. Very simple. And yeah, and if I don't take a trade, I just don't take a trade. Like I'm way past the point, guys, of having to trade. Like if I don't catch it till Friday, and I watch people make thousands this week, and my couple hundred to 1,000 doesn't come till Friday, so be it. I'm cool with it. Your timing, God's timing, my own path, your own path. I love the quote, comparison is the thief of joy. So don't compare yourself to Q Banks or any of those other ones. Just be where you're at. Get your trading journal, be disciplined, keep your trading plan next to you, and make all the qualified decisions that you need to, and you'll become a profitable trader. But with that being said, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I got some work I gotta get done. It's Tuesday, so it's early in the week, so I'm just getting started in regards to accomplishing my weekly goals. So I'll see you guys later. Peace. Uh-oh, I think you're frozen. Wait, no. I think you're on mute.